Hi crafty friends, this is card 35 in Full Deck Challenge 2. The prompts are eyes and transparent. For eyes, I have these really funky eyes. They are die cuts. They are from the die cut book Essentials by Marlene, the Golden Oldie Collector's book. It is full of fun and quirky die cuts. And for transparent, I have a piece of acetate that I'm going to use in a really fun way. I'm looking forward to seeing how you are going to interpret this prompt. I'm going to start by preparing my card. I'm going to do the usual and add a piece of white tissue paper with Mod Podge. The tissue paper I'm using is the type you would use for gift wrapping. You could also use gel medium, craft glue, or maybe even a glue stick to adhere the tissue paper. You don't have to add tissue paper. I normally do because I think it creates a good base for adding any kind of elements on top, whether it's just die cuts like in this video, or if I'm going to add any kind of paints or inks. Once the Mod Podge is dry, I'm going to trim off the excess tissue paper. You can also tear it if you prefer more of a rustic or rough look. Next, I'm going to cut my acetate. I'm going to cut two pieces the same size, and I want them the same size as my card. I'm not measuring exactly. Of course you can if you want to. I like to do a few shortcuts, so I'm just putting the acetate over the card and cutting it the best to my ability. To neaten it off and get the edges a bit more straight, I'm going to use my cutter, but you can definitely measure accurately if you want the edges to be exact. The idea of this card is to give a paper doll interchangeable eyes. So for my paper doll, I'm just using the head part of one of the quirky faces from the Essentials by Marlene die cut book. And I'm using a piece of cardstock with pretty colors to be sort of part of her dress. It's just going to be her shoulders showing, so I just want a small piece of that. Once I have the placement, I'm going to stick her down. I'm using Mod Podge. It's just what's handy and my default adhesive in my craft room. I'm going to stick down her head and then also her dress. And then in the die cut book, I also found this really beautiful pink bow, which I'm going to put around her neck, which I think decorates her really well. I'm going to trim off the excess of her dress. I want it flush to the card, and then sadly I'm also going to have to cut off some of her blue curls because I need the edges flush for what I'm going to do for this project. It's a pity because the curls are really cute, they're just not going to fit in. I'm going to attach my acetate to my card. I'm going to use a washi tape. I've checked a few different washi tapes, some bright colored ones, but I think this plainer one, which is like a vintage text, is going to suit this theme well, and it won't detract from the beautiful paper doll. On the top of the acetate, which will be facing us, I've left about 1/2 centimeter of washi tape. The rest is going to adhere to the back of the card, which we won't see. Once my washi tape is in place, I'm going to place the acetate adjacent to the right hand side and the left hand side of the card, and I'm going to allow it to have a small space as I need the acetate to fold in and over the card, and then just cut off the excess washi tape. It's never too late to join in the Full Deck Challenge. This is Full Deck Challenge number 2, but you can start at any time and with any card. I will have a link to both playlists in the description box below. Just a note, there are no prompts for the first challenge. You can just follow along with my videos for inspiration. If you are looking for prompts for Full Deck Challenge 2, you will find them in my Facebook group if you just search Full Deck Challenge group. I'm now going to add those quirky eyes on the acetate over the eye area. I'm going to add each set of eyes on the different acetate. So as you place each acetate over her face, she has a different set of eyes. Her eyes are interchangeable. I think it's a little bit of fun. I then wasn't sure if I needed to put some kind of a frame around the acetate or if I should leave it as is. So I did try putting some washi tape on the edge, but I wasn't quite happy with how it looked. So what I did is I then pulled it off, and when it pulled off, it only pulled off in certain sections. Some of it got left behind, and I actually liked how that looked, so I recreated it on the second piece of acetate too. There's a little bit of back and forth in this part of the video, as I wasn't quite sure what or how I was going to attach it. So you can see me attaching and reattaching, trying to get it straight. But I do always show you as I create. I don't always create a project first as a prototype and then make a video. I sort of film as I go. So a lot of times you'll see my mistakes and my whoopsies as I create. I do like sharing everything with you. It's a way we all learn, and I wanted to inspire you. And also to know that mistakes do happen and it is totally okay. So after doing all of this framing around the acetate, I found that it was closing off the picture too much and I didn't like it. So this is where I pull it off. And thankfully it didn't pull off straight or correctly or all in one, and left a really lovely corner, which then inspired me to duplicate on the other piece of acetate. I would really love if you subscribed to my channel. I do a lot of mixed media, art journaling, junk journals, and of course this is home of the Full Deck Challenge. When you subscribe, don't forget to hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. This card was pretty simple, but I love that it's interactive and I love that it's fun. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and were inspired to create your own. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. Happy creating, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.